Michigan cops wrongfully detain a 12-year-old. What was this 12-year-old doing that was so suspicious? Taking out his family's trash. Watch.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped, and he's getting harassed by the police.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
His dad's coming out to see why they have put his son in handcuffs.
He fit the description. That's for
all these cops for a teenage kid.
Yo, the wrong person, yo.
They done arrested him, brought the canine down here. Now they've arrested the young boy, but done traumatized him. All these cops put him in a cop car.
Now they about to tell lies. He crying.
Didn't you know most criminals stop to take their family's garbage out? Even with cops in hot pursuit. These kids sure do grow up fast, don't they? But when they're Black children, they're forced to. Black males in particular. But females too. Lansing, Michigan police have said the viral video of officers detaining 12-year-old Deshaun Bernard was an, quote, unfortunate misunderstanding, theirs, stemming from the foot chase of a suspect wanted in a suspected vehicle theft. Deshaun can be seen wearing neon yellow shorts and t-shirt as he's being detained outside an apartment complex after having taken out the trash. Deshaun's dad telling officers they were traumatizing him. In a Zoom call with reporters on Friday night, lawyers for the family of Deshaun Bernard asked that police take down its Facebook post saying the photo makes it appear as though the shirt Deshaun was wearing was white when it's actually gray. Suspect police were actually looking for was wearing a white shirt, they said. Lansing State Journal. Lansing police posted an initial explanation on Facebook mentioning witness description of the car theft suspect as wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. These are photos of the suspect and Deshaun that were posted, blurred out along with the statement. These people have some nerve. The video led to 3 statements by Police Chief Ellery Sosebee, Mayor Andy Schlor's office. LPD said they hope to put the situation behind them, and by late Friday afternoon, a statement from Chief Sosebee was released that read in part, when the officer made initial contact, it was near a trash bin, but was after he had disposed of any garbage. The young man was then released to his father when eliminated as the accused. The command officer on the scene made contact with the young man's father and explained the situation and apologized for the misunderstanding. I have reviewed the incident and can confirm the officer who contacted and detained the young man was respectful and professional during his investigation. I have to stop there, David. I have more, and I'm gonna give more details, but the tone deafness, okay? This is the statement you want to put forth initially? We wanna move on. By the way, the cops did nothing wrong. They were courteous. Traumatized for life. You go ahead, sir.
Well, I don't know anything that's courteous or professional about putting somebody who's innocent in handcuffs. That is an experience that young man that child will never forget. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. So I wish the police chief and the mayor would have just come out and said, this was an innocent young man. He should have never been stopped this way, period. And we're doing an investigation to find out what drove this. Was it racism? Was it racial profiling? What happened here? Because I guarantee there are plenty of ways that even if they had the 12-year-old who had been breaking into cars, there are ways to stop and question that young man without having to use force, without having to put handcuffs on somebody. And if police would just do their job on the front end, then they wouldn't make these ridiculous mistakes on the back end.
Not good policing. We already saw that, okay? There's not good policing right here. There's more from the chief, though. Quoting, as the chief of police, I want to apologize that this incident had such an effect on this young man and his family. I'm asking for the community to consider all the facts of the situation before making a judgment. The relationship with our community has been and will continue to be a top priority for the Lansing Police Department. Now, Shore apologized to the 12-year-old and his family in a statement. The Lansing Police Department made a mistake in detaining the wrong person during a vehicle theft investigation. Young man was wearing the exact same clothing as the suspect. However, it was quickly confirmed he was not the suspect in question and he was released. I joined Chief Sosaby in offering my apologies to the young man and to his family. LPD is in contact with the family and providing resources and support for any trauma involved. Our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing, but in this case, a mistake was made, and we own it and apologize to those affected. As mayor, I once again offer my sincere apology to this young man. Attorneys for the family said Deshaun was taking out the trash at his home when he was approached by an officer holding a gun at his side. The boy was put in handcuffs and placed into the back of a police vehicle. Our client has been traumatized by this incident, so much so that young Deshaun does not want to go outside even to get the mail. That's from attorney Rico Neal. The attorney said they were exploring all legal options for the family, including a possible lawsuit. Family wants to ensure that the same situation doesn't happen to anyone else, they said. So here again, the tone deafness. I would, thankfully, this is not my child, but as a mother, I'm not interested in you providing resources for my child after you perpetrated this traumatizing event. I don't need you, who don't even know how to acknowledge it appropriately and properly, to then counsel my child to feel better. And by the way, part of the statement wasn't true. Gray is not white. Light gray may look similar, but it's not white. So stop saying that. Am I missing the mark here, David, at all?
No, I want to sort of get a little story about that, underscore sort of the difference here. More than 30 years ago in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is about 70 miles from Lansing, I was one of three white guys who we had broken and entered into a sorority house and tried to, steal some photographs or whatnot. We went up through the fire escape. We went out through the front door. We carried this thing down the street. We obviously matched the description that the girls who were frightened had given. A cop rolls up. We match the descriptions. We are guilty. And one of my friends passes a fake ID, which the cop recognizes as fake. Did that police officer immediately arrest us and put us in handcuffs and have us put up, sit in the back of his police car? No, he gave us a stern talking to and wrote us up a citation, and we eventually had to appear for a misdemeanor in court later. We were guilty, and we got treated as if we're a bunch of knuckleheads, right? But we were not put in handcuffs. We were not put in the back of a police car. And so if that's the way you're gonna treat 3 or 4 white 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, why on earth, if you suspect something of a 12-year-old breaking and entering, possibly trying to steal a car, why would you go hands-on with handcuffs and put them in the back of a police car? The difference is white people versus black people. That is racism. It is systemic. It has been that way for a long time. White people have been getting a break, and we see time and again that black kids are treated differently.
Wow. Why so honest, my white ally? Why just tell the truth about your experience? And I wish more people would just be honest about what's going on here. I'm glad you got away with a misdemeanor, David Schuster. Look who you became. I don't want kids traumatized. Look, you're doing good work on behalf
Look, I did community service and I got expunged off the record. All the opportunities one would hope. Let's just suppose they had the right kid who was breaking and entering. I would hope that even then, you wouldn't need to put somebody like that in handcuffs in the back of the police car. You arrest him, whatever, you see if he's gonna cooperate. And then, oh, by the way, you give him the same opportunity that we had, which is to do community service, to get it expunged off his record, to do something good for the community and turn his life around. But I fear that those opportunities don't come to minorities, to Hispanics, to people who look different from a police officer who was white.
Wow, I just could reach through. I don't want to offend your wife. I kiss you right now. I want you to speak to this because there's going to be a lawsuit. There should be. But you know who's going to end up paying? Nothing's really going to change here. And I wonder if it's a solution that money comes out of the police budget. This is probably a slippery slope, but I'll pose it to you. If you continue to do things like this, we have to rein you in because we don't know what you'll do next. That could be off base, David Schuster, but I don't know what else to do or suggest.
I think there's something there. Obviously, there needs to be some sort of settlement agreement by the city that it's not just a payment to the family, not just whatever help they're going to give the family to help this kid recover. But the police have to make it clear the reason that they immediately snap handcuffs on whoever they suspect is because police now are so fearful of their own safety. It's about officer safety. We have to put somebody in handcuffs so they can't do anything. Well, there was once a time, I think, certainly with white people continuing, there was once a time where police would assess a situation and say, is this person cooperating? Is this person running away? Is this person reaching inside and about to grab something that could hurt me? If they're not doing those things, you don't need to escalate by putting somebody in handcuffs. You talk to somebody the way police officers are supposed to talk and gather information and make an assessment. And in this case, if a police officer would have been level-headed and had a calm conversation with this young man, say, hey, what were you doing? We're kind of looking for somebody. You know anything? I have a feeling that this kid and everybody else would have cooperated with the police. But instead, when the police go in, literally guns blazing with their hand on a gun, slapping cuffs on, that creates distrust in the community and it infuriates anybody who has any sense of morality and humanity.
I've done fell out. If this was church, I've done fell out. I haven't been in a number of years, but like someone spoke to you, like an officer had a conversation with you 10 years ago when you were a teenager, David Schuster. And look at you now.